I'm a 27-year-old mechanic living in Reno, and my girlfriend Tara, 25, is driving me up the wall with her last-minute plan changes. Last weekend, I had plans to hit up a local brewery with my buddies, and she wanted me to ditch them for a date she sprung on me that morning. I said no, and now she's calling me uninterested in our relationship. I'm starting to wonder if I'm the jerk here, but let me back up. Tara and I have been together for 8 months. She's an artist, always sketching in her beat-up Moleskine or posting her work on this app called Art Vibe, where she's got a decent following. She's super creative with this wild energy that drew me to her. Think bright purple streaks in her hair and a laugh that makes everyone turn. But her sense of time? Non-existent. She'll plan a dinner, then cancel because she's in the zone painting, or she'll decide at 11 p.m. that we have to go stargazing. I'm more of a planner. I like knowing what's up, especially since I work long hours at the shop, fixing cars and dealing with customers who think their oil change is an emergency. My friends Joey, Mike, and Priya are my lifeline. We've been tight since high school and we try to hang out every couple of weeks. Joey's a bartender who's always got a new cocktail recipe, Mike's a quiet IT guy who's secretly hilarious, and Priya's a nurse who keeps us in check with her no-nonsense vibe. We usually hit up Rusty's Brew Haven, this divey spot with mismatched chairs, arcade machines, and a jukebox that only plays 80s hair metal unless you bribe the bartender. It's our thing, and we'd been planning this night for 2 weeks because Priya's been slammed with hospital shifts. Tara knows how much these nights mean to me, but she's got this habit of throwing curveballs. Like, last month, she bailed on our planned hike to binge-watch some reality show called Grill Kings because the drama was too good. Or the time she insisted we go to a pop-up gallery at the last second only to leave early because she got a better idea for a painting. I roll with it most of the time, but it's exhausting. So, last Friday, I'm at the shop, elbow deep in a busted transmission, when Tara texts me, "Babe, let's do a fancy date tomorrow. That new tapas place, 7 p.m. wear that blue shirt I like." I'm like, cool, but I've got plans with the crew. I text back, "Can we do Sunday? Got brewery night with Joey and them tomorrow." She doesn't reply, which isn't unusual. She gets sucked into her art and forgets her phone exists. I figure we're good. Saturday morning, I'm sleeping in when Tara calls at 9 a.m. "Why can't you just skip the brewery?" she says, her voice all huffy. I really want to do this date. I'm still half asleep, rubbing my eyes, and I'm like, "Tara, I told you I've had this planned for weeks. You didn't say anything about a date until yesterday." She goes, "You never prioritize me. It's always your friends." That stings because I've canceled stuff for her before, like missing a car show to help her set up for an art market. I tell her we can do the tapas place Sunday, but she's not having it. "If you cared, you'd make time," she snaps, then hangs up. I'm pissed but try to shake it off. I head to Rusty's that night, and it's a blast. Joey's mixing some ridiculous stout and IPA hybrid he calls the Blackout, Mike's quoting The Office every 5 seconds, and Priya's telling us about a patient who proposed to her with a hospital gown ring. I'm laughing so hard my sides hurt, but my phone's buzzing with Tara's texts, having fun without me, and guess I'm not important. I don't respond because I'm not gonna let her guilt trip me mid-hangout. Sunday rolls around and I text Tara about the tapas place. She replies, "I'm not in the mood anymore. You made it clear where I stand." I go over to her place to talk it out. She's in her tiny studio apartment, paint smudged on her cheek, blasting some lo-fi playlist. I try to explain that I need reliability, that I can't keep dropping everything when she changes plans last minute. She fires back, "You're so rigid. Life's not a schedule. If you were really into me, you'd want to spend time together, not just stick to your plans." I point out how often I've adjusted for her, but she says it's not the same. She wants me to want to ditch my friends for her. I leave feeling like we're speaking different languages. Now it's been a week and things are weird. Tara's posting cryptic art vibe stories, like a sketch of a broken clock with "Time's never right" captioned. My friends are split. Priya says Tara's being manipulative, but Joey thinks I should have gone on the date to keep the peace. Mike just shrugged and said, "Relationships sound like work." I'm starting to second-guess myself. I love Tara's passion, but I can't keep up with her chaos. I also don't want to be the guy who ditches his friends every time his girlfriend snaps her fingers. Reddit, AITA for sticking to my plans with my friends instead of canceling for Tara's last-minute date. I feel like I'm trying to balance everything, but maybe I'm not seeing her side. What do you think? I'm a 29-year-old graphic designer, and my boyfriend, Liam, 30, has been blowing up my phone during work hours like he's auditioning for a clingy rom-com role. Last week, I finally told him it's annoying, and now he's acting like I've ripped his heart out, saying I don't love him. I'm starting to wonder if I was too harsh, but let me explain. I work remotely for a small branding agency, designing logos and social media assets from my cluttered one-bedroom apartment in Portland. My setup's a vibe, fairy lights, a monstera plant I've somehow kept alive, and a desk covered in sticky notes and empty LaCroix cans. But my job's intense, clients are picky, deadlines are tight, and my boss, Karen, loves quick check-ins that turn into 45-minute Zoom rants. I need focus, especially since I'm gunning for a senior designer spot. Liam's a freelance photographer, always chasing gigs like weddings or indie band shoots. He's got this dreamy, artsy energy, think floppy hair, vintage flannels, and a habit of quoting Wes Anderson films. We've been together for a year, and I love how he sees beauty in everything, like the way he'll stop mid-walk to snap a photo of a cracked sidewalk for the aesthetic. But his schedule's all over the place. One day he's editing photos at 3 a.m., the next he's free at noon, calling me to chat about vaporwave remixes or what he had for lunch, usually ramen with an egg he's weirdly proud of. The problem? He calls me constantly during my work hours. Like 10 a.m., I'm tweaking a logo and my phone buzzes. Babe, should I get oat milk or soy? At 1 p.m., I'm in a client meeting and he's FaceTiming to show me a dog he saw. By 2:30, he's calling to just say hi. I've got Slack pings, Photoshop crashing, and Karen emailing me about font urgency, so I can't deal with Liam's play-by-play of his day. I've tried hints like, hey, I'm swamped, can we talk tonight, but he just laughs it off, saying, I just miss you. Last Tuesday was the breaking point. I was on a deadline for a picky client who wanted their logo to pop but not too much. I'm neck-deep in color palettes when Liam calls 3 times in 20 minutes. I mute the first 2, but the third time I pick up already frazzled. Liam, I'm working, I snap. He goes, whoa, just wanted to tell you I booked a gig. I'm like, that's awesome, but I can't talk now. You keep calling when I'm busy, and it's annoying. Silence. Then he says, all quiet, wow, sorry I'm such a burden. I try to backtrack, it's not that, I just need space to work, but he hangs up. That night, I go to his place, a loft with exposed brick and camera gear everywhere. He's editing photos, barely looking at me. I ask what's wrong, and he unloads, you called me annoying. I just want to share my life with you, but it feels like you don't care. If you loved me, you'd want to talk. I'm floored. I explain that I do love him, but I can't be on call 24/7 while juggling work. He's not buying it, saying my ex always made time, no matter what. That stings, but I try to stay calm, suggesting we set times to talk, like during my lunch break. He shrugs, muttering, doesn't feel the same. Now it's been 5 days, and it's tense. He's barely texting, and when he does, it's one-word replies. I tried calling him last night, but he sent me to voicemail, then posted a moody black and white photo on Instagram with a caption about feeling unseen. My best friend, Sasha, says Liam's being dramatic and needs to respect my boundaries. But my coworker, Tim, thinks I was too blunt, that I could have been nicer since Liam's just trying to connect. I'm torn, I hate that he feels unloved, but I can't function with constant interruptions. I even started muting my phone during work, but now I'm paranoid I'll miss something important, like if he actually needs me. Reddit, AITA for telling Liam his calls are annoying? I didn't mean to hurt him, but I need to focus at work. Is he right that I'm pushing him away, or am I just trying to keep my sanity? Help me out here. I'm a 32-year-old urban farmer, and my partner, Ezra, 34, is losing it because I didn't want to celebrate our 2-year anniversary. To me, anniversaries are just made-up milestones, like putting a gold star on a random Tuesday. But Ezra's acting like I've torched our whole relationship, calling me cold and saying I don't care about us. I'm starting to wonder if I'm the jerk here, so let me lay it out. I run a rooftop farm in Philly, growing microgreens and heirloom tomatoes for local restaurants. My days are dirt under my nails, hauling compost, and dodging pigeons who think my kale is their personal buffet. My setup's chaotic but cool. Think raised beds, a beat-up picnic table, and a Bluetooth speaker blasting lo-fi hip-hop or the occasional punked podcast rerun. I'm not big on tradition. Birthdays? Meh. Valentine's Day? Hard pass. I show love through actions, like cooking Ezra's favorite chili or fixing his bike when its chain snaps. Ezra's the opposite. He's a freelance event planner, always organizing these over-the-top weddings or corporate galas. He's got this polished charm, wears tailored blazers, smells like cedarwood cologne, and has a habit of twirling his glasses when he's thinking. He's all about the moments. He'll light candles for a random dinner or write me sappy notes on post as he sticks to my fridge. We met at a food truck festival, bonding over kimchi tacos, and moved in together last year. Our loft's a mix of my terracotta pots and his vintage rugs, which somehow works. The anniversary thing's been a sore spot before. Last year, I went along with it. Ezra planned a fancy dinner at this rooftop bar with fairy lights and a jazz trio. I wore a clean flannel, ate overpriced scallops, and tried not to roll my eyes when he toasted to us. Felt like playing dress-up. Afterward, I told him I wasn't into big gestures, that I'd rather just chill with him on the couch. He nodded, but his smile was tight, like I'd popped his balloon. This year, our anniversary was last Thursday. I knew it was coming. Ezra's been dropping hints for weeks, like mentioning a new wine bar or asking if I'm free. I didn't say much, hoping he'd get that I wasn't into it. The day before, I'm up on the roof, pruning basil, when he texts, "Any ideas for tomorrow?" Smiling face with smiling eyes. I'm sweaty, my phone's smudged with dirt, and I reply, "Maybe we just hang?" Low-key. He doesn't respond, which I figure means he's busy. Thursday morning, I'm at the farmer's market, selling arugula and chatting with my regular customers. Ezra's at home, he had a rare day off. I get back around noon, arms full of unsold radishes, and find him on the couch, scrolling through Insta with this sulky vibe. "Happy anniversary," he says, voice flat. I'm like, "Oh yeah, you too," trying to keep it light. Then he goes, "You didn't plan anything, did you?" I admit I didn't, saying, "You know I don't care about this stuff. It's just a day. We're good every day, right?" That's when it blows up. Ezra sits up, glasses off, and says, "It's not just a day. It's our day. You not caring feels like you don't care about me." I'm caught off guard. I try explaining, I love him, I just think anniversaries are fake, like something Hallmark cooked up to sell cards. I point out how I show up for him. I built him a bookshelf, I make him coffee every morning. I even watched that awful Love is Blind reunion with him. But he's not having it. "Those are normal things," he says. "I want you to celebrate us. You're so detached. It's like I'm in this alone." I get defensive, saying, "I'm not detached. I just don't need a calendar to prove I love you." Why is that not enough? He storms off to our bedroom, muttering about how I don't get it. I'm left standing there, radishes still in my arms, feeling like I've missed some script everyone else has. The next few days are rough. Ezra's quiet, barely talking beyond "past the salt" at dinner. He's posting Insta stories of his galas, all sparkles and smiles, but at home he's mopey. I try to fix it. I cook his favorite stir-fry, leave a dumb doodle of us on his planner, but he's still distant. My best friend, Lila, who runs a kombucha stall at the market, says Ezra's being extra and I should stick to my guns. But my neighbor, Carlos, who's always borrowing my clippers, thinks I messed up. Man, it's not about the day. It's about showing you're all in. I'm torn. I hate the idea of doing something just because it's expected, but I don't want Ezra to feel unloved. I looked up anniversaries on my phone while watering my chard, and apparently, year 2's supposed to be cotton or some nonsense. Should I buy him a scarf? Plan a belated dinner? Or is that just giving in to something I don't believe in? Reddit, AITA for not celebrating our anniversary because I think it's an unnecessary formality? I love Ezra, but I don't get why we need a special day to prove it. Am I being cold or is he asking for too much? Tell me what you think. I'm a 30-year-old content strategist at a digital marketing agency in a loft-style office where every wall is a whiteboard and the air smells like artisanal coffee. My job is dreaming up campaigns, social media hooks, viral video concepts, snappy taglines that make brands look cooler than they are. I love the creative buzz, sketching ideas on my iPad while blasting lo-fi beats, but the open-plan office means everyone's in everyone's business. And by everyone, I mean Derek, the human equivalent of a seagull swooping in to snatch your fries. Derek's 35, a senior strategist with a goatee and a knack for saying, "Let's circle back" in every meeting. He's charming, loud, and has a handshake that feels like a contract. Problem is, he's built his reputation on other people's ideas. Last year, I pitched a meme-driven campaign for a local brewery complete with a "Beer Me Up, Scotty" hashtag. Derek tweaked it in the client meeting, presented it as his brainchild, and got a shout-out in the company newsletter. Same thing happened with my coworker Aisha's influencer strategy. She did the research, Derek took the mic, and suddenly he's the thought leader. We've all grumbled about it, but nobody calls him out because he's tight with our boss, Vanessa, who thinks he's a creative genius. The rest of the team's a mix. Aisha's a whip-smart social media manager who doodles manga in her notebook and rolls her eyes at Derek's monologues. Leo, our video editor, is a chill dude who wears beanies indoors and lives for After Effects but stays out of drama. Vanessa runs the show like a caffeinated drill sergeant, always pushing collaboration while juggling client calls on her AirPods. I'm usually the peacemaker, bouncing ideas with Aisha over Slack or helping Leo brainstorm video scripts, but Derek's credit-grabbing has me on edge. Last week, we were prepping for a big pitch to a vegan skincare brand. Vanessa wanted a game-changing campaign, and we had a week to deliver. In our brainstorming session, I kept my ideas vague, something about eco-conscious TikTok challenges, because Derek was looming, nodding like he was already planning his victory speech. After the meeting, he cornered me by the kombucha fridge, all buddy-buddy. Hey, your TikTok angle's got legs. Want to riff on it? I can polish it for the deck. Translation: he wanted my notes so he could slap his name on them. I'd seen this movie before, so I said, nah, I'm still fleshing it out. I'll share when it's ready. His smile twitched. Come on, don't be selfish. We're a team. I held firm, mumbled something about deadlines, and bolted to my desk. By the next day, Derek was on a mission. He told Aisha I was hoarding ideas and not playing ball. She texted me a heads up, watch out, he's spinning you as the bad guy. Sure enough, in our next team huddle, Derek played the martyr. I'm just trying to collaborate, but some people want to work solo, he said, glancing at me. Vanessa raised an eyebrow. We need all hands on this. No silos. I felt my face burn but stayed quiet, not wanting to air dirty laundry in front of everyone. Later, I pitched my full idea, a TikTok dance challenge tied to the brand's cruelty-free ethos with user-generated content and a charity donation per post. Vanessa loved it, but Derek jumped in, saying, that's like what we were discussing, right? I shut it down fast. Nope, this one's mine. He went red and Leo stifled a laugh. The fallout's been awkward. Derek's been icing me out, leaving me off email threads and forgetting to tag me in Slack. Aisha's on my side, she's dealt with his nonsense too, but Leo thinks I should have shared for the team's sake and let Derek hang himself later. Vanessa hasn't said anything directly, but she's been colder, like I've violated some unwritten code. Yesterday, Derek posted a cryptic X-rant about ego-driven coworkers with a thinking emoji, and I'm pretty sure it's about me. Even the intern, Priya, asked why I'm so protective of my ideas, like I'm the one being unreasonable. I'm torn. I worked hard on that campaign, late nights, endless post-it notes, playlists to spark creativity. Sharing with Derek would have meant watching him take credit again, and I'm done being his ghostwriter. Aisha says I did the right thing, but Leo's team player comment stings, and I'm worried Vanessa thinks I'm a diva. Maybe I could have shared a half-baked version to keep the peace or called him out directly instead of playing defense. Now the office feels like a high school cafeteria, and I'm dreading the next pitch. I just wanted to protect my work, but am I the asshole for refusing to share with Derek? Or is he the one out of line for expecting a free ride? I'm a 28-year-old yoga instructor in Denver, and my boyfriend, Theo, 30, is mad because I won't introduce him to my best friend, Maya. The reason? He flirted with her at a bar a year ago before we got together, and I'm not over it. He says I'm being paranoid and controlling, but I think I'm just protecting my peace. I'm starting to question if I'm the jerk here, so let me spill the tea. I teach at Flow Vibe Studio, a trendy spot with bamboo floors, Himalayan salt lamps, and a juice bar where influencers sip $12 smoothies. My life's a mix of sunrise classes, stretching on my balcony with my rescue dog, Bean, and late-night X scrolls for yoga inspo or the occasional Dune meme. Maya's been my ride or die since college. She's a freelance makeup artist, always rocking bold eyeliner and thrifted jumpsuits with a laugh that echoes like a hyena. We've survived bad breakups, 2 a.m. taco runs, and that time we got stranded at a music festival with no phone battery. She's family. Theo's a craft beer rep, always on the road schmoozing with brewery owners. He's charming, think dimples, a man bun he pulls off, and a habit of tapping his thumb on his pint glass when he's nervous. We met 6 months ago at a taproom event where he convinced me to try a sour ale that tasted like grapefruit and regret. He's sweet, brings me coffee before my early classes, and even joined me for a couple's yoga session, though he groaned through every downward dog. But there's this one snag, Maya. Last year, before I knew Theo, Maya was out at the Tipsy Elk, a dive bar with sticky floors, a dartboard nobody uses, and a jukebox stuck on Fleetwood Mac. She told me about this cute beer guy who bought her a drink, chatted her up about IPAs, and got flirty, complimenting her smile, leaning in close, asking for her number. She wasn't feeling it, so she politely shut it down and left. Fast forward to when I started dating Theo. I showed Maya a pic and her jaw dropped. That's the Tipsy Elk guy. She laughed it off, saying it was no big deal, just a bar flirt, but my stomach twisted. Theo never mentioned it and I didn't bring it up, but it's been eating at me. Here's the thing, Maya's gorgeous, confident, and single. I'm not insecure. Yoga's taught me to love my body, cellulite and all, but knowing Theo was into her before me makes me twitchy. I trust Maya completely. She'd never cross a line. Theo? I want to trust him, but that flirty history feels like a loose thread I can't stop pulling. So, I've been dodging situations where they'd meet. Like, when Maya invited us to her art gallery night, I said Theo had a work trip. When Theo suggested a group hang at a brewery, I pivoted to a date night instead. I figured I was keeping things drama-free. Last weekend, it blew up. Theo and I were at my place, cooking tacos. Well, I was chopping cilantro while he supervised with a beer. He casually says, "When do I get to meet Maya? You talk about her all the time." I freeze, mumbling something about her being busy. He pushes, "You've been weird about this. What's the deal?" I try to play it cool, but he keeps digging, and finally, I blurted out, "You flirted with her at a bar last year. I'm not comfortable with you two meeting yet." His face goes from confused to pissed. "Are you serious?" he says. "That was nothing, a random night before I even knew you. You're acting like I'm some player." I try to explain, it's not that I think he'll cheat, but the idea of them in the same room makes my skin crawl. I just need time to get over it. He's not having it. "You're paranoid," he snaps, setting his beer down so hard it sloshes. "If you trusted me, this wouldn't be an issue. You're keeping me from your best friend like I'm a creep." I fire back that it's not about trust, it's about my comfort, and he's dismissing my feelings. He grabs his jacket, says, "This is ridiculous," and leaves. I'm left with half-chopped cilantro and a pit in my stomach. Since then, it's been tense. Theo's texting less, and when we talk, it's clipped, like, "You free tonight," instead of his usual goofy emojis. Maya's noticed I'm off and keeps asking what's wrong, but I haven't told her the full story. I don't want her feeling weird about something she didn't do. My coworker, Jules, who's always eavesdropping at the studio, says I'm being unfair to Theo, that past flirtations don't mean anything, and I should just introduce them to rip off the Band-Aid. But my neighbor, Rosa, who's like my unofficial therapist over backyard kombucha, thinks Theo's gaslighting me by calling me paranoid instead of respecting my boundary. I'm spiraling. I love Theo's energy, but this whole thing has me second-guessing. Should I just suck it up and introduce them? Am I being irrational, or is it okay to want this one thing off limits for now? I even Googled how to deal with boyfriend flirting with best friend, which led me down a rabbit hole of bad advice and worse Reddit threads. Reddit, AITA for refusing to introduce Theo to Maya because of their flirty history? I'm trying to protect my heart, but maybe I'm making a mountain out of a molehill. What's the vibe here?